Hey there, Michelle Berry Franco here. So today I want to talk with you about another one of those questions that I get so often from clients and people in trainings and workshops. And that is, what if someone else is taking my stand? What if this message that I feel so passionately about sharing is already being shared in a powerful way by someone else or a number of other people? And in fact, if you're wondering that, it's probably because you've seen that that is happening in some way. So I want to offer you some ways to think about this and really sort of like some ways to move through that question that can get us stuck. So first I want to tell you about my own recent experience with sort of looking into this. I have just finished the first phase of a branding process with the most wonderful Primed Marketing team, and it's been really awesome. And as part of that process, they went out and looked at what we could call competitors, right? Other people who do the same work I do. I don't often like to think of them as competitors. In fact, I do, collaborate with others who are in my industry who do very similar things that I do. But nonetheless, when we're looking at branding, part of what we want to do is who else is doing this and what are they saying and doing so that we can understand that part. Well, as part of that inquiry, that understanding, I learned so much. I hadn't for a long time sort of like deeply looked at other people's messages, the stands they're taking within my industry. And it was a really powerful way for me to see where I fit. So I offer that to you just as a sort of overall idea. Instead of what could be happening or what I've heard people do, going on and sort of like feeling bad when we see our competitors, what if you were looking for what are they doing that's different or that's distinctive? And how does what I'm doing fit into the landscape of solving this problem for a lot of different people? So I'm going to talk about that in more detail. So first, I'm going to talk about this, of course, in three different things. I'm going to give you three ways of thinking about it that I hope will build together to help you move through any stuckness you might have around other people who have a similar stand. So first of all, just know that others are taking this same stand is validation, that this is that the work that you're doing is needed, that they're out there successfully making a difference in their areas, through the work that they're doing or through the speaking that they're doing or however they're taking their stand, maybe both, is additional validation that the difference you want to make in the world is a needed difference. So the second thing I want to offer to you is that, as I said earlier when I was talking about my own branding process, actually going out there and looking at others who are working in your same industry, other collaborators on the great mission to make a difference around this topic area that you want to make a difference in. When you look at them and see their own distinctive style, their way of expressing this message. For example, when we went and looked at the others in my industry, we saw a lot of people who say things like rock the stage, be at peak performance on stage. There's, messages around shining on stage and being awesome and being in the spotlight. And all of those things are really cool. Like those are things that will call out to certain people. They'll be like, yes, that's what I've always wanted to do, right? That's not how I talk about it. That's not how I think about it. The way I think about speaking is I believe that we are meant to, those of us who feel called to share our stories and our lessons learned, we are meant to serve in this way. And so it's really about getting on that stage in service of transformation for the audience and really in service of the world through our speaking. That's just my particular way of coming at it. And when I see that, I can see where we all fit in a pretty beautiful movement to help people getting out there, to help people get out there and share their voices. And then finally, know this, no one has your story. No one has your story and your particular style of expressing your expertise. So when you get out there and share your own, especially probably the story about why you feel so passionately about this message, you call out to certain people who have struggled in this realm. And I mean this around dramatic topics and less dramatic topics. You don't have to have been on the floor crying for it to be a powerful story. Your story will resonate with a certain set of people. They need to hear that story. So your message is fueled by that story and your own style as well. So I hope as you're thinking about what if someone else is already taking my stand, or what if there are too many people out there? There are already people out there doing this and they're doing it way better than I could possibly. I want to invite you to come back to that and ask, how can I do this in my way so that the people who I'm supposed to serve are like, oh, there you are. Because that's what'll happen. All right, thanks for being here this week, and I will see you next week. Can't wait.